Hello and welcome to the Anime Madness Reacts. I am your host, HenDiddy, and I am joined here today with Skeletony.
Hello.
And today we are doing One Piece, chapter 1104, titled Thank You, Daddy. Before we even hop into the chapter, which I am excited for because we had the cliffhanger of Kuma throwing that punch at St. J. Garcia Saturn at the end of last chapter. So, oh my goodness, this is going to be probably stupid crazy of a chapter. Would you agree?
What, last chapter or this chapter?
This
Or
chapter.
both? This chapter? Yeah, absolutely.
So before we get into that, we have on the cover page a reader request: Sanji delivering a dessert to a newly engaged rat couple at a restaurant.
But see what I mean about the hair? Literally,
Yeah,
like, every woman Oda draws.
yeah, it kind of looks exactly like Tashigi because it's shorter than
That's it.
Nami's current hair,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like right around the length of Tashigi's hair. But with that said, last chapter, Kuma arrived and was about blocked a stab that was intended for Bonnie and turned around and to punch Saturn. And we start off with the punch incoming.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
And Garcia remembering God Valley, the Buccaneer boy. Your only options are slavery or death. Your mother's dead, son, but I think she's better off that way. As we go, we basically get another quick flashback through Kuma's childhood. And then we get Ginny. We get the phone call. And Kuma arriving to a baby Bonnie. Dude, this backstory just hurts.
Oh, wow.
And then we're back to the present with Bonnie crying and Garcia's pissed. He's asking Vegapunk why it's happening. He should be dead. A few days after the Revolutionary Army took Kuma away, I pressed his self-destruct switch.
And then you look at Vegapunk, Sanji, and
So
Frankie, like, huh? It's just Vegapunk, really.
yeah,
But,
so Vegapunk actually put because remember he said about putting that in. So Vegapunk actually did put that in Kuma.
he had to.
And I think that's why he's confused. Like, wait, he pushed it? That's what? But that panel of Kuma at the bottom of page 3, though.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, ooh.
Oh, full charged up hockey punch right to the face of St. J. Garcia Saturn. Double page spread.
Actual blood has been drawn.
Actual blood has been drawn. What the hell? Dude, that panel looks so good.
Oh, good.
Dude, that's easily in the top 5 panels of the chapter. Holy crap.
Oh my god, look how much of that one punch destroyed, like, all of Egghead.
Dude. Okay, I knew Kuma was strong. But fuck. Again, we still don't know who exactly got Luffy food.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't shown yet, but it could be speculated to be Kuzan because no one else can move fast enough.
Yeah, no one would move fast enough to where they wouldn't have noticed,
Plus,
except for him.
the only ones that weren't under the whatever, I'm guessing it was Conqueror's Hockey he was using to stop everyone in place, was the Marines.
Yeah.
So, did Kuma do this? As all the lower ranked Marines are like, what the hell is going on over there?
Yeah. Punched out
And
one of the five elements.
the higher
Very
ranked
highest
Marines
authority
that
in
are
the
there
world.
are freaked out.
He's trapped under buildings.
Like, that's gonna stop Saturn. He
Yeah, really.
he basically Hellraiser summoned himself out of the ground to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Like some puny buildings are going to be enough to keep him pinned.
Absolutely.
Rescue Saint Cersei is trapped in a building. A slave just punched the man at the pinnacle of the world. This is a historical atrocity. Oh boy. Things are really heating up. Oh, and it looks like they can move again for Vegapunk. Now's our chance. Take Bonnie and let's move on up. Escape is our only goal. What happened? Did I not attach any self-destruct? I did not.
No, he's like, yeah. There was a shutdown switch instead.
I knew that if I helped turn you into a bomb, they would inevitably use you as a suicide weapon. But I upheld their conditions in the end. I attached a total shutdown switch to you. And now that that's been thrown, you should be a total vegetative state without the ability to act of your own free will, or even carry out orders. There's no reason he should have sprung into motion, and no logical scientific basis for his arrival at this island, where Bonnie is. So is it true then? Is it not the physical strength of the Buccaneers that makes them remarkable for, at one point... I'm just as confused as Vegapunk right now.
Yeah.
It has to just be sheer willpower. And it could be...
Over.
I mean, it could be because of Nika awakening, and that's the... Like, Luffy awakening his fruit, and that's literally the god Kuma worships.
Could be. At this point, it's uncertain as to why.
Yeah, I mean...
It might be answered. It might not be. Who knows?
The smartest man in the world, Vegapunk, is even stumped, so how are we going to figure it out? If anyone watching has any idea, leave it in the comments, because, like, I'm thoroughly confused, like, how Kuma's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Then we cut over to Kizaru saying, "Welp, it's over." What's over? Sentomaru is happy Kuma's here. You can see that little grin on his face.
Mm-hmm. Where's Straw Hat?
So Straw Hat disappeared. Thank you, Daddy. I saw all of your memories. Mommy was such a wonderful person, and you wrote me all those letters after all. I was so happy to find out. Oh, I'm scared to turn the page. I'm scared to turn the page, dude. Everyone calls you a tyrant, but I know my daddy is the kindest and the most wonderful man in the entire world, and I'll never ever forget that. I knew he was going to come back.
No, that's not what I'm questioning. Bottom of the next page. You'll get there.
Vegapunk, how do you explain all of this? Was it your doing?
Bro, look how much damage he took from that punch, by the way. And going through all the buildings. Missing a horn and an arm.
Yeah, and that's not even one of his Oni legs. It's one of his arms.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it must look that way. I could call it the power of love if it makes you feel any better. I see then. It is a flaw in the human form, an error in the programming. Farewell, I have no more use for you men. And he just regenerates his arm.
And his horn, too. You can tell by the angle from the speech bubbles, yeah.
And Sanji's, how come his body is regenerating? Sanji, you're the one who had your entire skeletal structure crushed to dust by Queen and realigned yourself. Like,
yeah.
Come on. Oda could have had someone else saying this line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Frankie's right there. Frankie could have said it.
To be fair, I think it's more of a question of, like, well, how come he's regenerating? Because his arm is completely gone and his horn is. I think it's just in the moment Sanji's panicking because they have such little control over it. Like, one of the 5 elders is in front of them.
Yeah. I'm just happy that the 5 elders are actually powerful. And not just figures at the top of the world. Like, they actually have power for their position. That was one thing I was worried about, like, when we got a little bit more of the 5 elders. I was always worried, like, oh, please don't tell me the 5 elders are just figureheads. And then we got the Reverie flashback from Sabo, and turns out that they are truly powerful beings.
Yeah.
Which I am happy for that, because there's so many stories where it's like the people at the top are the weakest people. Like you look at Code Geass,
Mm-hmm.
Lelouch is the weakest person ever outside of a mech.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy that they actually have power for their position. And he's going after Kuma again, of course. I think Kuma's actually shut down now. Because his hands...
Reading it, yes.
His hands haven't even moved either.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have Sanji coming in. No Ifrit or Diablo Jambe, though.
He just kicked him, yeah.
It's just a normal kick. It could have been a hockey kick. We can't really tell with his boots.
Yeah.
So... we owe Kuma a great... Okay, radical beam!
We love Frankie for that.
Kizaru is saying it's true, you've developed very well. That is in regards of Kuma, I believe.
Has to be.
Oh no, that's in terms of Frankie. Because Frankie's saying how the Shawnuts owe Kuma a great debt, and he's saying it's true, you owe Kuma a debt. You've developed very well. Basically, if it wasn't for Kuma, their journey couldn't continue.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because we have Kizaru now zipping behind Frankie, asking him show him how much you have grown, and Sanji is yelling for Frankie, and oh no, I'm excited to see Tekken's reaction to this, because Frankie is Tekken's favorite character. And we get to see the damage on Saturn. And it doesn't look like much. I feel like Saturn's going to heal that instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Daddy's not moving, Vegapunk. And Atlas picks up... Yeah, so he's basically fully shut down. As Atlas picks him up to run back to the Labo phase. We cut over to Kizaru and Saturn. Kizaru saying, now that even Kuma's in the scene, I'd say we've got an audience of players, wouldn't you? Let's finally end this. Have you no heart? You are a sad man, Kizaru. Yes, I'm a miserable sight. I should have brought darker shades. That's a cold line.
Mm-hmm.
That's cold. And the Buster Call has been activated.
Yep.
All warships prepare for bombardment. Burn it to the ground in the name of justice. This is going to be worse than O'Hara and Eni's lobby.
There's like 10 times the amount of...
There's exactly 10 times more.
Yeah. So it's going to be 10 times as bad.
We get a close-up of Saturn's face with him saying, those who study the secrets of the world, those who possess the blood of a lost people, those who have awakened an ancient god. This island is full of inconvenient people who must be eradicated.
Ooh, that's a good line.
That's a very good way to end it. That's a very good way to end the chapter.
Oh yeah.
With it, study secrets of the world, that definitely classifies all the Vegapunks and Robin.
Yeah, because that's the blood of lost people.
That's Kuma
And Bonnie, technically. Well, no, not Bonnie.
I would say Bonnie has the will of the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have the blood. But we also don't know, because I have a feeling that the Jupiter, the Valkyrie, like the 5 Gorosei families,
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling there's no other celestial dragons with those names. These are the last members of their respective clans.
Probably, yeah.
And Tekken has a theory that because of the last chapter, how he said, like, one of Garcia's friends,
Mm-hmm.
that Bonnie could technically be a Saturn, possibly, but not the main line Saturn that Saint J. Garcia is,
Yeah,
but a different
potential.
line that actually doesn't exist anymore.
I could see it.
But the blood of a lost people, not just
Most likely
race,
the Buccaneers.
people.
Yeah.
Because the Buccaneers were a race, but the blood of a lost people, which I think is the ancient kingdom, the citizens of the ancient kingdom,
Oh yeah.
which I have a feeling were more
Well,
than one
weren't the
race.
Buccaneers the people of the ancient kingdom? Like not just alone, not just the Buccaneers alone, but
But the Buccaneers are a race. They're a mixture race. They're a hybrid race, basically.
well, no, I know that. I'm saying, but they were the people that also worshipped Nika like
Yeah.
exclusively.
Well, no, the Giants of Elbath do.
Oh, true that too. Yeah, yeah.
There are multiple entities that worship it. The Shandorans.
Well, okay, hold on. I might have misspoke about that. Like the Buccaneers worship Nika, not necessarily them exclusively worshiping
Yeah.
Nika, but they exclusively like
The
as in he was the only god they looked to.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bucks. The only god that the Elbaths look to is Nika as well, or the
Yeah.
sun god. And then the Shandorans, I believe Nika is one of 3 gods they worship.
Mm.
Because they also have the snake, which is the god of the oceans, that Luffy kills. Or Luffy
Yep.
doesn't kill it, but Luffy gets swallowed by it and escapes it. I can't remember who kills it, but that's all in Skypiea. I gotta go rewatch Skypiea, dude.
Honestly, I might just do that eventually for the fun of it.
I
Skypiea
think
was just that good of an arc.
I think with a lot of the stuff that we're getting in Egghead, I think it would be good to go rewatch Skypiea.
Definitely, I could agree with that.
Because I feel like there's a lot more we can take away from Skypiea now.
Definitely.
But that's the chapter. Very insanely good chapter. No break, so we'll be back next week with the next chapter, 10:05, 11:05. Dude, it's gonna be weird saying 11 instead of 10.
Oh yeah, especially because the episodes are still on 10.
Yeah, the 1091 came out yesterday. So, well, as you guys are seeing this, came out 2 days ago. But that's gonna be all for this chapter. I have no clue what's gonna happen next week.
Absolutely none. No.
Like, I have a feeling we're not gonna get the Buster Call next chapter. Like, that's gonna come in 2 chapters, is when that's gonna actually happen. I
Probably.
don't think it's gonna be next chapter. So like, it leaves me very confused on what's gonna happen next chapter. Leave a comment down below of what you thought of the chapter, what you think's going on with Kuma, and where you think we're going from here next week. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we upload, and check out the links in the description. We're, I should say, somewhat active on Twitter. We're not as active as we kind of want to be, but we're still there. We have a presence there, I would say. And grab yourself some Rogue Energy with discount code the Madness5 at checkout. With that said, that's it.
Yeah.
Stay rumbled, get humbled. See y'all next week.
Monkey, monkey! Monkey!